I'm joined with Dutchy Hollands following a 1-1 draw away to Yate Town. Danny, looking back now, how do you reflect on the game?
Um, it was a tough game. We knew there'd be good opposition. I think the league position probably doesn't reflect, what type of football and players they have within the club. So, I think over the next few weeks, I think they will push on. But from our perspective, we went 1-0 up. Probably had a couple more chances to go further ahead, and we didn't take them. And then, to get a goal against us in the way that we did was disappointing.
I know there will probably be quite a few fans questioning whether it is a point gained or two dropped. But if you consider especially the last 10 minutes in that game, I mean, really, any of the two sides really could have stole the 3 points.
Yeah, it was an end-to-end game. Like I said, it was frustrating from our perspective. We had to change two at half-time, which, disrupts the flow of the team. So, that was part and parcel with that. Like I said, we had a couple of chances. The referee, said, potentially a penalty as well, first half, which is frustrating. We've had that a couple of times this year, which, things don't go for us, which is another thing which is annoying. But at the end of the day, like I've said at the start of the season, I think if you can get a point away from home and 3 points at home, then it's going to be a productive season. So, on that basis, a point away is probably a good point if we get 3 at home on Wednesday evening.
Last season, I remember speaking to the coaching team, and it just seemed a few games last season we struggled to pick up those points against the lower ranked teams in the league. I know Yate Town, they're obviously sitting at the bottom of the league. Why do you think we struggle when we are playing those smaller ranked teams?
I don't think it's the bottom ranked teams. I think it's like anything. Like I said at the start of the season again, that anyone can beat anyone this year. It's a tough league. Everyone can go anywhere and win. So it's like I said, it's a tough league. Yes, it is a disappointing result, but at the end of the day, it's another point on the board. And like I said, Wednesday becomes a big game now for us to try and capitalise on them coming to our home turf and making sure that we put on a good display and maximise our opportunity to get 3 points at home.
Last week, Dutchy, we were speaking about the set pieces, saying how it's been improved and how we scored last week. Well, yesterday we scored from another set piece, turning into a bit of a specialist now, aren't we?
I think, like I said to you before, it's one of them areas that, people are utilising more and more year after year. It's, especially with the kind of calibre that we have attacking the ball. It's silly of us not to use it. And like you've mentioned, we've maximised this year with our goal return, so it's nice. But it's certainly something that we still feel that we can, kind of improve on, like every other aspect. Like I said, we're not probably hitting where we want to be, but we need to make sure that we keep improving and keep pushing to try and strive to make the performances better and secondly the results certainly.
We spoke at the start of this interview how the game really could have swung either way in that last 10 minutes. A big reason why we did manage to keep a point is because of Ryan Hall, and in that game he was superb.
Yeah, I think Ryan done really well yesterday. So he made some vital saves for us. Like you mentioned, both teams had some good opportunities, especially near the end of the game. So, he certainly earned his money yesterday. I say he done well for us. His kicking was good. I think he's been good for us throughout the season. I know it's been a short period, but like I said, I think he's done well. And also, I think we have to give a mention to the young lads that come on and change the game as well. Like I said, they both come on, done really, really well. So, for them to come on in a big game and really kind of, take the baton and push us on is credit to themselves.
This Wednesday we've got another hard challenge when we host Wimborne on Wednesday. How do you prepare for that game?
Pretty similar to any other game, if I'm honest. Like I said, every game that we prepare for will be pretty similar. We have to watch them, see how they play, see their strengths, weaknesses, etc., and put a game plan together and make sure that the lads are well equipped to try and, like I said, try and get 3 points, because any team that comes to our home pitch has to make sure that they have a hard time and we don't give anything away. So it's going to be another tough one. We know how they play. We've watched them, and they're a good outfit. They're good at what they do. pretty similar to like most of the teams. They have a game plan, they stick to it. So we have to utilise that and make sure that we're better on the day at what they do. And secondly, try and make sure that we make the most of their weaknesses and try and get 3 points, because, like I said, we probably haven't had the start we wanted to, and we need to improve on that. We're not stupid and we understand that.
Well, brilliant. Thanks for your time, Dutchy. And final words from us as always, up the borough.
Up the borough.